Viewers, mina sila kemta kabo. And today, the camera dena kisitan watalon for witness usai Healey International Foundation and Caritas International can donate an anesthetic machine to the Christ the King Hospital na Kisitan. So the camera go show you how the process metallic and also go do follow-up interviews where you self go like. So stay with me as we start the program now.
So we got for all of fine because not so small money. $50,000. Not almost for $1 now. It almost for $1. 2,000. 2,000 times 50. Let somebody help me so that we go put out so the ordinary people then go know what's in.
1 billion. 1 billion.
1 billion. 1 billion for this machine. Yeah. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We are here today as Healey International Foundation is presenting 8 anesthesia machines to Caritas Hospital here at the Western Rural District. So tell us more about these machines and how it all came about for the donation here today.
So today we're here at the Christ the King Hospital, which is a hospital that Caritas Freetown is managing with the support from the Healey International Relief Foundation. We have been providing support to this hospital for very many years, and we're excited that today, through the support of the ASHA, the American Schools and Hospital Abroad program, under USAID, we have been able to provide a universal anesthesia machine here today at Christ the King Hospital. We're providing 4 hospitals, and Christ the King happened to be one of those hospitals that were providing the UAM machine, and we're excited that we're able to provide this support because, as you may have already heard, this is a very significant machine that is very important, especially for a community that does not have access to electricity.
So out of the 8, how long will this hospital be benefiting from?
So we're still, contemplating, but we actually have 4 hospitals originally designated, and so those 4 standard hospitals have actually been marked so that they will serve the people. And these hospitals are sparsely scattered across the country because we want to make sure that people are able to access surgery. As the hospital, this machine is used for surgeries, and because many of these communities struggle when they want to do surgeries, it's very significant that we're able to provide such an equipment that will not only help anesthetic process, but also will provide oxygen and ventilation for the patients.
So you did make mention of 4 hospitals, and now we are here. So what are the rest of the other hospitals?
Well, the other hospitals, we're coming to them, but we've been able to provide to Holy Spirit Hospital already in McKinney, and today we are here at Christ the King Hospital. We will inform the public when we're going to the next, so that we ensure that every hospital engages the process. But what is more significant also, as you may have seen, a lot of young children between the age of 10 to 19, we believe they are the future leaders, and we have to be able to involve them in the decision-making processes and encourage them on how they can best be able to be involved in not only monitoring how this machine is actually serving people, but also ask questions, the requisite questions, so that they can challenge the hospital to be able to provide the requisite service that they're supposed to. We're also using this as a platform to encourage children to understand, or youth, that to understand issues around transparency, issues around accountability, and science and innovation. Because essentially, the Innovate Your Future project seeks to provide both that aspect of it, and also, we continue to train and teach these youth the American core values. 4 of those values that we believe are very significant and resonate with Sierra Leone's desire to develop. And so that's part of the reason why we're here today.
So in terms of the worth of this machine, what's the cost of it?
The cost is estimated at $50,000. That inclusive of the cost of the machine, the ventilator, and the oxygen, plus its air freight, because we also flew the machine all the way to Sierra Leone on airplane.
Good afternoon.
We're here today at the Caritas Christ the King Hospital here at the Western Road District, and your hospital is part of those benefiting from an anesthetic machine and a ventilator. So how do you feel about this donation here today?
Today is a joyful day. I'm very delighted that our facility is one of those among 8 facilities that will receive this amazing technology. And we have direct relationship with Healey. We are the primary partners, and therefore henceforth we are in the selection list. But not only because we are the primary partners, but because of where our hospital is located. You realize our mission and vision is to serve the poorest of the poor, those who have sense of history. This was a displaced camp where the hospital is, and so therefore this new settlement is in Kissi-Town are displaced people who are now living in this community. And so the parchment is for the poorest of the poor who cannot afford private hospital, and therefore what you can do is to enhance your facilities so that they are also included in the universal plan of health.
So how was the hospital operating prior to now without this ventilator?
It's been a very difficult situation prior to this machine. We've had situations wherein operations were done, and in the middle of the operation the generator will go off, and many of those situations have arisen wherein it was risk to the life of patients. The fact that the anesthetic machine, with also the capacity to produce its own oxygen, is an amazing, and it's going to make a difference. I remember we are bringing Spanish doctors, and their biggest problem and fear was that we lack anesthetic and we lack the machine. Otherwise, they should have been coming regularly. So I will share. I can't wait to go and email them now and say we have the machine. Come and perform the multiple operations that you are doing.
I heard each of these machines is worth $50,000 US.
Yes.
Will it be possible for Caritas to purchase this machine now as it is?
No, certainly. Caritas caters the support from partners, the numerous partners that we have, and they have supported us diversely. So $50,000 translated in our old leons is 1 billion. So Caritas on its own will not have produced 1 billion leons for just a machine, even though we know how relevant and important it is. That's why we believe in partnership. That's why we work transparently, so that partners will believe in us, so that they enhance our support.
And your hospital has been rated one among the best in this part of Africa, in the country. So how do you feel about it?
Oh, wonderful. I say bravo to all of us. Bravo to the staff that have been so committed. Some have PIN codes, some don't. So we try to subsidize them so that they perform the best. Our only reason to involve in healthcare is to give the best of quality, so that if you come in even without medication, the service alone will give you health, just the smiles and the care that you will see.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Your name again?
So my name is Sobandi Bangaboti.
You don't get English now, yeah?
Okay.
Your name again, sir?
My name is Sobandi Bangaboti, senior nurse anesthetist, covering McKinney Regional Hospital as well as the Caritas facility.
And today, Caritas, this hospital here, the Western District, they are very lucky to receive an 8 anesthesia machine from Healey Foundation from the USA. Anesthetic, how important this machine is?
Anesthesia machine, it's an equipment for every anesthetist. The best friend to every anesthetist working within the theater, and the companion you can rely on for your work to go on. Same as you will say a secretary with a computer, a farmer with a cutlass, a student with a pen. But without this, your work becomes very tedious for you. So receiving an anesthesia machine of this quality, it's a big boost to the facility, and I'm super happy that I can now not only work singly but with a colleague though an inanimate form.
So what's the role as an anesthetist plays for a surgery?
So as an anesthetist, you are in charge and you are the boss of the surgeon. You own the patient. The role we play, one, we evaluate the patient, determine the ASA classification of the patient. ASA is an acronym for ASA, American Society of Anesthesiologists. They determine the seeking status of a particular patient going in for surgery, and there are different classes of that. So we evaluate whether this patient is fit for surgery, and we determine whether the patient can go for surgery. And also, we determine which type of anesthesia is fit for the surgery. Not the surgeon to speak of what type of anesthesia to give, but we also relax and make the patient available for the surgeon to work on. With our education, with administration of our drugs to the patient, keeps the patient sleepy or partially paralyzed, because there are different types of anesthesia which we can give, and make the surgeon to do whatever surgery they need to do and works out comfortably. At the end, we bring them up again. Particularly if we put the patient to sleep, we put them to sleep and we wake them up.
So what will the machine be doing as an anesthetic machine?
So as an anesthetic machine, make the patient sleep. There are drugs I will give for the patient to sleep. With this anesthetic machine, it will help to keep the patient in a more sleeping state, that you will not know anything that is going on, no pain, because of the drug I will administer through the anesthetic machine we call the inhalational anesthesia, and it's mostly in a gas form. It could be allotane, isoflurane or sevoflurane, which you keep inhaling as you're breathing, and that will make you sleeping until your surgery. And when we end the flow of the inhalational gas, within 5-10 minutes, we can call you by your name and you respond to us.
So is it always normal for patients to be sleeping while doing surgery, or after giving them anesthetic to sleep while doing surgery?
Depend on the type of anesthesia, or depend on the type of surgery which the patient is going in for. So should you be going in for mostly what we call surgeries affecting the abdomen and upward or upper limb, then we need to make you sleep. And should we give you drugs? There are drugs which can make you sleep that can be given intravenously, but also to keep you in that sleeping state, especially when they are doing general surgery like laparotomy or appendectomy, wherein they need to split open your abdomen and the surgeon will have to play with your intestine and take out any defect organ. These parts, they are all sensitive to pain. One of the things that will keep you sleeping without you responding to this pain or fighting on the table is when you receive the anesthetic gas that is coming from the inhalation, the anesthetic machine. Beyond that, it also gives oxygen, and that also which should keep you alive, because 5 minutes of oxygen, you are somebody else different, preparing for another place.